Hey guys, welcome back. Jeff Page from Heartland Customs here again, and this is Paul's 1958 Spec V level SPECVETTE Corvette, and this is the interior video. So I want to kind of break this up. Again, we get a lot of requests from social media and emails that want us to kind of walk around these cars that we do and really show all the little things that we do that make a Heartland Customs car a Heartland Customs car. And so unless you've ever been to SEMA or one of the other car shows that we happen to be at and had one of the Heartland Customs staff members really walk you through one of these cars, it's really hard to wrap your head around exactly the level of work that we do here and the level of builds that we produce for our customers. So this video here is going to be an interior video on Paul's 58 SPECVETTE. So what I want to do first is I want to start out by talking about the company that does the interior work for us. So the interior shop that we use is Sculpt Garage. They're out of San Marcos, Texas. The head guy down there is Brent Davison. And I can tell you right now, if Sculpt Garage moved their facility to Alaska, I would take my cars to Alaska to get the interior done. The guy is insanely crazy about details, which every time I look in the mirror, I see the same thing. The devil is in the details, and I love all the little tiny things. You can stare at a Heartland Customs car for hours and not even see a fraction of what's going on with that car and all the little things that we've done to make them what they are. And Brent's stuff at Sculpt Garage is the same way on his interiors. I mean, I'm going to zoom in here. Like, check out the stitching around that grab bar. Laser straight. I mean, the fit and the finish of everything. I mean, I got to be honest, like, he makes Moore and Giles leather look good, but I mean, it looks good anyway. Let's be honest. The stuff's like butter. It makes the whole shop smell like leather. I said it in the first video. This is the same leather that Gulfstream uses in their $78 million G650 aircraft. It is incredible leather, and we use it in every car we build here. But Brent takes those leather hides, and he makes everything. And notice I, put stress on the word makes. Those door panels are not from a catalog. That dash pad is not from a catalog. Those seat covers are not from a catalog. That carpet is not a carpet kit. Every single thing that you see in the interior of this car right here was made for this car, this particular car. So everything fits perfect. You open a door and you look, and the door panels follow the edge of the door perfect. They don't hang over 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch. They're not short 1/8 of an inch. They're perfectly on the edge of the panel. And these are things that 99 out of 100 people could give a rip about. But I'm telling you, from people that really know high-end, high-quality vehicles, these are very important items. And that's what these cars are all about. Every single piece, look at the stitching on the steering wheel. It's nuts. Like, everything is done that way. The shifter boot. Let's back it up a little bit right here. The e-brake. Like, everything has a nice contrast stitch on it. The dash pads, everything flows perfectly. I don't think you can do any better than this. And everything looks like it did in 1958. You've got all the modern amenities and things like that. I can kind of show you here. I'll show you more in the driving video. But, I mean, here's the gauges. We work with a company called Dakota Digital, and they do these gauges for us. On the gauges, these are their HDX gauges. You've got all kinds of options here that you can change screen configurations and whatever you want to do there. You can change the coloring to match the car. We kind of like the blue look with the cyber gray paint on this car, but you can change all that stuff that you want to do too. They're Bluetooth. So you wire up your gauges, you connect your iPhone to the Bluetooth, and then you go right in there, and in about 3 minutes, I can do the whole gauge setup. I can set up everything I want, the colors I want, and all that. And then even when I go out and set my speedometer, which any of you guys that have ever done aftermarket gauges have done the measured mile, and then you gotta have eyes on the module, because you gotta see if the little green light's flashing, or is it not flashing, or is it steady? And oh crap, I put that module behind the kick panel. So now I gotta pull a kick panel, and I'm driving down the road and I'm trying not to crash this car. At the same time, I'm trying to look at this blinking light in the kick panel down by my ankle. It's a nightmare. Now I go out, I grab a guy from the shop. He's got a speedometer app that uses the GPS to tell him what speed that we're going. And in about 3 minutes driving down the road, we can set the speedometer on this car, and it's perfect every time. So that alone, sells me on Dakota Digital. But everything that they do, and we have a lot of Dakota Digital stuff in here. The power hood is powered by their technology. You can see the little photo sensor in the dash up here, right there above the speaker. And that right there turns the headlights on and off automatically according to the ambient light outside. So you don't even have to pull the headlight knob in these things. That's Dakota Digital. So much stuff in here is Dakota Digital, but the reason that we use all that is because it's such good stuff. It's solid state stuff, and it doesn't break, and it's fantastic. So kudos to Dakota Digital. This is not a Dakota Digital commercial. I promise I'm not getting any money from Dakota Digital on this. Although if they want to send me a check, I'll be glad to cash it. But the stuff is really great. So if you haven't used their stuff, definitely check it out. Anyway, back to the interior. You can see the kick panels. Sculpt Garage did these for us. I think they're amazing. It's even got, audio by Kicker down there to give a little nod to our Kicker buddies there on the sound system. It's stellar stuff. I'll kind of get in here where I can get a little closer. So you get down here and you can see, maybe here we partner with a company called Retro Sound. So you remember the old Wonderbar radio. This is a licensed Wonderbar radio that now goes in here. You notice the knobs look just like 1958. They even match on the stereo, to the air conditioning controls, to, I come over here where the lights and all the knobs match, like just details like that, detail geeks will geek out on, but just little stuff like that. But this radio here connects right in, has subwoofer controls, hooks right into our amps, runs everything. It's Bluetooth. So you get in, it pairs with my phone. If I'm going down the road and somebody calls my iPhone, it mutes the music. It like slowly dims it down. I answer my call hands-free. I've got a hidden microphone right here under the dash, and I make my phone, and then when I hang up, my music comes back up to the volume that I had it at. It's crazy. Like just every little thing that we've put in these cars to make them, modern. Another thing, like you look over here and you're like, oh man, that's a high-end resto mod, and he's got manual windows. No, I don't. There's power windows, but I don't want to have power window switches in a 1958 Corvette. It looks out of place. So they have micro switches on them, and you just push up that handle a quarter turn, power windows go up, quarter turn down on the handle, and the windows go back down. So power locks, power windows, but everything, it looks factory. So that's the whole idea behind this deal. So I said delay wiper systems. We have the headlight knob, but you don't really need it anymore. I don't know of anybody that's crazy enough to smoke in these cars. So I've done away with where the lighter was, and Retro Sound sent us a nice little chrome USB deal there. What's cool about that, you need to charge your phone, then you plug your wire in right there, USB, plug it into your phone, and you can charge your phone while you're driving down the road. Also, we have customers that are into high-end audio. And so they have FLAC files. If you don't know about FLAC files, they're really, really high definition audio. And so they don't like to use Bluetooth. I'm learning all about these FLAC files from these guys, but they don't like Bluetooth. They lose sound quality with the Bluetooth. So what they do is they'll put it on a thumb drive. Well, now you can plumb that thumb drive right into that USB port right there, and it's wired directly into the stereo system in this car. So you can play FLAC file high definition music through this amazing Kicker surround sound system right there in these cars. So we even have that built into it. Another cool thing, I'll kick the hazards on here so you can see that, is you've got turn signals built into your mirrors. And you've got full LED taillights. And we'll walk around to the front. and full LED park lights in the front and turn signals. So originally in 58, you didn't have a mirror over here. You just had one on the driver's side. And you know, I've kind of gone back and forth with this 100 times, but I like the way we do it now. Where you have to put this mirror, I basically put it in the same spot as you would on the driver's side. And I did that because we get a turn signal, you know, kind of a blind spot, turn signal there on both sides. The mirror itself is really not useful on this side from the driver's standpoint. So really it's kind of the wife, the girlfriend, your buddy, whoever needs to check his makeup or lipstick or whatever's going on the passenger side. That's actually more like a passenger side's mirror. So he or she that's sitting there can turn that mirror and use it how they want. Really, the point was to balance out the look of having a mirror on both sides, and then to have the turn signals built into that for blind spot and for safety. So we did add that in there. I do get a lot of guys that are like, you can't even see that mirror from over here. Well, I mean, you can, not 1,000,000%, but that's really not the reason that it's over there. So another thing I kind of want to hit on, and this is one of those things that, again, 9 out of 10 people could probably give a rip about. I'm actually going to walk over here. You get a little better view of that. And that's seating. Okay, 1958 Corvette, tiny car, super tiny car, and they're not made for big guys. People were smaller in 1958, and you just didn't, you know, if you were over 215 pounds, you just didn't get a Corvette because you didn't fit inside one. So we offer some different options to remedy that. With all of our modifications, I'm 6'2", 280 pounds, and I can very comfortably drive this car right here. The steering wheel is nowhere near my stomach when I drive. So we've done a lot of things to make it. Now, you can't really tell it when you look at it. Now, you'll look at the seats, and now that I pointed out, you can see they sit back deeper, and they sit deeper, you know, under your butt too. So now your head doesn't touch the convertible top in the winter if you got the convertible top up and the heater on. And you sit further away from the steering wheel. We do offer a tilt wheel for maybe guys that aren't as big as I am that would rather have that steering wheel a little closer to them. Then we can do a tilt function, and it moves it out about 3 inches towards you. Paul does not want that, so we did away with the tilt function, and then you get a really nice steering wheel there too, that's not right up on you. So this one is very comfortable to sit in. Another thing I want to point out, and you probably won't see this in any car other than a Heartland Customs car, but look at how the seats fit the stainless trim. Okay, this is another thing I'm going to geek out about a little bit here, but when you look at, and when you get off this video, I want you to go do this. I want you to Google or go on, Google Images or watch videos on YouTube or whatever you want to do. And I want you to look up 1958 through 1962 Corvettes. And I want you to look at how the seats fit that stainless trim. Okay. There is huge gaps. It was terrible the way they fit. They didn't care back in 1958. It wasn't a big deal. And it was more about function. Well, now we're functional, and they're super, super comfortable. Now you've got nice bolsters that hold you in place when you corner. And I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, this thing will corner. It will pin you in that seat. And now you're comfortable when you're being pinned in the seat. But everything fits that trim. That leather rides that trim perfectly. And the old ones just didn't do that. And so that's one of the things that we really harped on and got with Sculpt Garage, and we figured out how to do things like that. So another thing, we talked about steering wheel option or steering column options. We have seat options too. So during the build of the car, when you come in here, we actually fit you to the car. So every single car, if you choose, you can fly into Oklahoma City and we pick you up and bring you down here to the shop and the full shop tour and those things. And while you're here, we actually try out different steering columns, different seat configurations and pedal locations and all that. And we get it to where it fits how you want it to fit. And then that's the way we build the car. So it is a true bespoke custom build that's built for you, the way you want it, the options you choose, the colors you choose, but then it's also actually ergonomically designed to fit you. And people that have wives and girlfriends that may drive the car, if they're lucky enough, then, we can work those things out too, where it can be adjustable to fit them and whatever. So that's kind of where we're going. I'm sure I've missed 100 things inside this interior, but I can sit here and talk for days on it. I'm going to cut this one short. And then our last video, I believe, I think I'll probably do one more video that kind of goes through some of the features of this thing. And then the last video we'll do is a driving video. And then you can really kind of get a feel for the way this thing sounds, the way it handles, the way it, drives so nice. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video.